I want to hear your opinion on this one. So let's do the daily debate here with the MMA Junkie Radio team and Joseph Benavidez. The question for today is, after Ryan Bader's hashtag 214 win to become a dual champion at light heavyweight and heavyweight, where does he belong on the pound-for-pound list? 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, or unranked? Now remember, this is everybody. One championship, PFL, UFC, everything. The Russians, you know, whatever they got, whatever leagues they got going on, everybody. Where do you guys think he fits on the pound-for-pound list? Why don't you go first, Goose?
I like the 6 to 10 area. I think when you're dealing with pound for pound, you factor in guys that have actually done it, gone back and forth in divisions, and then guys that have just had such an incredible streak that it makes you wonder what that would transfer over into another division. In Ryan's sense, he's done them both. I like him somewhere in that 5, 6, around that area. So yeah, 6 to 10 for me makes more sense. Right behind John Jones, a guy who maybe hasn't done much of that, but he does have a victory over Ryan Bader. Right around that area.
How about you, Dan?
Man, I hate to go right after that because that's pretty much my answer. I want to try to be argue 1 through 5, but I would have him right at 6. George, you can contest me here, but like in my mind, pound for pound, I've got Cormier and Jones right at the top. Obviously, there's a lot of unpack there, and how you even want to rank those guys, which we won't get into here. And then I have guys like Cejudo were at number 3 because not only did he beat DJ, he won. Say what you will about that, he won since then. Whereas DJ, though he deserves it because I'm a big fan of fighting in multiple weight classes, he hasn't won since October of 2017, so in about a month we're knocking on a year and a half without a win. And again, Cejudo has won since then. That said, Cejudo also has some losses, including the man sitting at our panel here, and he didn't have to go through as much of a rank like we talked about with super fights. In this day and age, you could argue it's becoming less valuable because guys are picking their spots, whereas Bader, he had to go through a tournament. And you look at it, he only has, 5 losses on his career, and they're only to world champions, a pound-for-pound great in John Jones, and the only 2 guys who didn't get world champions were title challengers who were destroyers in Glover Teixeira and Anthony Johnson. Ryan Bader has beat everybody else, including the greatest of all time in many people's eyes, Fedor Emelianenko, and again, doing it at 2 weights. Now, how long does he hold it and where will that stand? That's another argument, but as of right now, I wouldn't be mad if he put Bader in 5. I got him at 6.
Jesus, these 2 guys are beasts.
They're
Those
really
are
good.
excellent explanations.
And it's good. It's good because I don't have
Can
to
I
say
just bow
much.
out of it? Let Joseph
we, don't
say
have
his?
to, we don't have to say much because, I mean, they made the arguments, and you can't really disagree with those, that he's somewhere around there, his losses and what he's done in Bellator. And then I like what he's saying, going back to the double champ thing and giving Bader props, is he wasn't just like sniping out an opportunity to go be a double champion, like a lot of people have, just like, oh, well, you know what, now that's a good matchup, Alvarez or whatever, or you know what, Cejudo's a new champ, I'll go become the double champ there and just do one-time thing. What was impressive about Bader is he had a run. You never see a double champion go through contenders in the other weight class. You know what I mean? Like you never saw, like Cormier, great double champion. He would obviously do it if he could. That's an amazing contender. But he had his obviously had his track record already at heavyweight. But he didn't like, you know what? I'm gonna go through all these current contenders. I mean, most recently the biggest thing you could say is like, look at TJ. He went and just sniped out a new champion, Cejudo, not like, you know what, I have to become the best at this weight class by beating 3 guys. Like, Bader beat every heavyweight contender, and then Fedor, on top of having an amazing resume at light heavyweight. So yeah, I mean, you gotta put him right there.
Can I just like
we already
slowly just bow out of this thing?
Well, you're a rankings guy, Gigi.
I know, and I got that homework assignment tonight, and right away I scanned it. If you go to MMAJunkie.com/rankings, you'll see our pound for pound list there. And so the first thing I'll
Bader
do
at?
Currently,
what's he there?
Before what happened this past weekend, he was already at 13.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So he's going up.
Yeah. So right behind GSP, and I think he's gonna eclipse him because GSP hasn't even done anything since beating Bisping, which was impressive, and GSP prior to that was a monster.
Back to the sniping point.
Yeah. And then Stipe Miocic, he's coming off a loss. He was only a guy that competed at 1 weight class, so he couldn't say, hey, the guy did it at this weight and that weight, which is something Bader can. So I see him just continuously passing him up. Ferguson's got outstanding numbers, but, again, a guy that's only done it his high level. There might be some welterweight or other stuff in early Ferguson years. But I'll just keep progressing too, and I think he may land in the 6 to 10 range, which you guys just completely obliterated with great points. I was very impressed with how he did it, very dominant in all of them. So I'm with you guys in the 6 to 10 range.
Yep.
Now let me tell you how this thing finished up, this bad boy. We had about over 1,500 votes come in, and the results were interesting, weren't they, Gus?
Oh, they were.
Yeah, the results were 31% agreed with all of us. 6 to 10. It was really close. 25% said unranked. Stop doing meth, kids. Not good for you. 24% said 11 to 15. Look, I won't hate you. You know, I know there's a lot of people like USC for life. Tattoo me. And then there's some that even went as high as 1 to 5, which again, I won't even say I have a problem with those guys because that's just an impressive run. So thank you all, the Junkie Nation, for voting. Those are our readers of the site and the listeners of the show. That was a great one, guys. You guys did an outstanding job. All right.